How to make $100 a day pressure washing. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down a TikTok that claims he makes $100 a day, and we're going to go through some of the things that he does right as well as wrong, and some of the things that I would do differently. So if you're looking to start a pressure washing business, you're in the right place. This is a great video for you. You're going to learn a lot in today's video. We're also giving away a pressure washing business starter kit to people who download Quote IQ and subscribe to the app. We're going to be giving this away at the end of the month. So not only do you get all the cool things that come with being a subscriber of Quote IQ, you also get a chance to win a pressure washing business starter kit. I'll leave download links for Quote IQ in the comment section description of this video. We're also doing a super special deal on how to wash. So if you guys need help with property protection, chemicals, equipment, how to mix the chemicals, how to wash every surface on a residential job site, as well as job walkthroughs from beginning to end, be sure to check it out. I'll leave a coupon code, the first link in the comment section description if you guys are interested in that. But let's go ahead and hop into this TikTok and see what we can learn.
All right, guys, this one's going to be a bit of a long one, but I'm going to show you step by step how to make $100 an hour in pressure washing. We start off with the chemical run, 10% SH at Lowe's.
So my first critique is going to be the chemicals, right? So Lowe's and Home Depot are places where I wouldn't typically buy chemical because I don't think a lot of people will go there to shop for chemicals for their pool. And basically, the longer that chemical sits on the shelf for, the more the bleach degrades and the weaker it becomes. So I would prefer getting my chemicals from a pool store. Some of the pool stores that I go to have better containers for them as well. You can buy them in 2.5 gallons rather than just like a little 1 gallon container. But if you're just starting out and this is the only place you have to get bleach, it's still good. I would just recommend going to a place that cycles through bleach much more often.
Then we turn on the water. Got to make sure the air is out of the hose before we hook it in. After we got that out of the way, let me just show you my setup real quick. So we got a 4,000 PSI machine, gas can bucket, my EPC cleaner, which is just a surfactant, and then the bleach.
So great tip on getting the air out of the line. Obviously, you don't want to plug that into your pressure washer and have it running while air's in it. So you want to get all the air out of the line before you plug it up. Secondly, let's go and look at his setup. So as you guys can see, this is a great beginner setup. You got a 4 gallon a minute pressure washer. He's going to be using an X-Jet to apply his chemical on this one. And the fact that he is using chemical means that he's a little bit ahead of the curve, because I know when I first started, I didn't really use chemical. I focused mostly on driveways. So this is a great starter setup, 4 gallon a minute pressure washer, X-Jet. And if you guys are just getting started, definitely a good way to go if you're on a budget.
Before we actually put the chemical in, we're going to rinse the landscape with water just to make sure the plants don't die. I do this at every single job. Next, just put in the bleach, put in the EPC. Again, this is a surfactant. If you guys want the link, comment down below or send me a DM on IG and I'll send you the link to where I got mine. Then we put in some water, dilute it a little bit. And after that, we just spray with the X-Jet.
So it's super important to water that vegetation. Like he mentioned, you definitely don't want to kill that with the chemical. He never mentioned exactly what ratios he's running. Typically, a house wash is going to be about 1.5%. And if you guys need help dialing in those ratios within Quote IQ, we have a tool for batch mixing, which tells you how much chemical, how much water you need to achieve whatever percentage you're trying to achieve. And we also have a chart within the app that tells you what percentages you need to use on which types of services, and it's completely free when you download the app. Another thing is you really got to be careful using a ton of surfactant on house washes, because the windows will get super streaked up if you're not rinsing properly.
And after that, we just spray with the X-Jet. Now this X-Jet attachment is going to cost you $200, but all you need is just a quick connect and then you can start downstreaming your chemical. I prefer this over using the downstream injectors. I think I get a better ratio. And if you guys want the link to that as well, just send me a DM. I'll send you it there. Then we're doing this part of the house wash. All this really is just putting the chemical on, waiting a bit and rinsing. Over here, we're rinsing off the chemical. And I want to put an emphasis on rinsing the windows. If you leave the bleach to sit on there, it will stain the windows. So as soon as you finish the house wash, make sure you're rinsing the windows.
So he mentioned the rinsing as well. You want to make sure that you rinse everything properly, or it will streak up and the customer will call you back out, which is something that you don't want, obviously. A lot of people that I know don't even use surfactant in their house wash mixes for that reason, because they don't want to have to worry about that. However, the suds kind of do help you see where you need to rinse. So if you're a beginner, it might help you out to see where you need to rinse versus just using SH. The other thing is you really want to use 2 different mixtures on brick and, vinyl or hardy plank siding. And he's not really doing that. You can use a much hotter mix on brick. If he's using the same mix that he's using for the house wash on the brick, it's not really going to do anything to the brick. So it doesn't really help that much. Everything helps a little bit, but it's important to know that there's different ratios for different services, and different services can have more bleach to less water, and other services need more water to less bleach, if that makes sense.
Now we've got the walkway. Now I'm using a 4,000 PSI machine. If you're using anything less than that, this might be a little bit annoying. Also, the brick was uneven, so I had dirt splashing around everywhere, but not too bad. I mean, I got it done pretty fast. just spray it off. I did one more pass after this. I didn't record it.
So that's one thing you want to keep in mind whenever somebody asks you to pressure wash brick like this. It's going to mess up the mortar if you're using high pressure. You really want to jump up that chemical volume and use a lot less pressure and just do a rinse on it. And that comes with setting customer expectations as well. You have to say, hey, listen, this is older brick right here. You guys can see as he's pressure washing this, it looks like some of the mortar's flying up. It looks like some dirt's flying up from in between the cracks. You really don't want to mess that up. So I would go with the higher bleach content, much lower pressure, and just say, hey, we're going to get it as clean as we possibly can, because we don't want to use pressure and rip up the mortar. And it's a bad deal. So I would never pressure wash brick like this if it was on a house or if it was older, or, it might be a different circumstance. But that's why I said different chemical mixtures for different surfaces, because that's really what does the cleaning at the end of the day.
And as soon as I finished that, I went to the back to do the shed. Now, again, rinse the landscape. And then I put my EPC chlorine mix on here. I let it sit for a bit while I did the rest of the house wash. The chemicals really do all of the work when you're doing pressure washing. You don't want to just spend hours at the job. I did this part of the house wash while the chemicals were working back there. As you can see, it was already working. Then I went back with my X-Jet, sprayed it all off. $400 job done in 2 hours with everything being recorded. Hope y'all enjoy. Save this video.
Okay, so he did a 2-hour job. He made $400. So he made about $200 an hour, obviously before expenses. I think there's a lot of takeaways from this video. We kind of talked about some of the things that I would do differently. Obviously, this guy has a good business. He's making money for himself. And if the customer's satisfied at the end of the day, that's all you can do. The biggest lesson that we learned from this one is you got to make do with what you have and upgrade when you can. So it's definitely possible to make $100 a day. 100 is going to be our word of the day. If you guys made it this far in the video, comment down below 100 and I will hashtag you a real one. My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. And until next time, hustle hard and get that money, baby. Peace.